welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to be setting up my September TBR, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Since I am done with the popsicle sticks, we're going to switch over to a wheel. Now I want to do a wheel just because it's a little bit different than picking paper out of a jar and it's a little less work. I just have to type in the prompts. So I created this wheel with a bunch of different and fun prompts that hopefully will choose books that have been on my shelves for a while that I would love to get to. So I'm super excited and a little nervous to see what the wheel has in store for me today. Alright, so this month I am going to choose 6 books, even though last month I did not do a wrap-up video for August just because I completed 2 books off my TBR and I'm in the middle of one, and I felt that I didn't need to explain anything because I'm kind of in a slump right now. But I feel if I still set with 6 books, I have like a range of books I can choose from of like mood reading wise, and I think TBRs help me kind of like shorten the long list of books I would love to read off my shelves into a smaller condensed list of 6 books a month. So that's how my brain works. The 2 books that I'm going to bring over from August into September, but are not going to be the 6 books that are new picks, are going to be Hunger Games, because I really would love to read this soon. Like, it's just, I'm the problem. I want to read this. It's just I'm the problem. I can't pick up a book for the life of me, but I really want to read this, so I'm automatically putting it for September, even though I'll have 8 books, if that makes sense, but 6 books that we're choosing today. And the other book is, I started it a couple days ago. I will not finish this by the end of August because it is quickly approaching. But Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, because I want to finish the Rebel Blue Ranch series before her new release comes out. So those are the 2 books I'm gonna also have on my radar for September, but they're not part of this TBR. I'm still picking 6, like I said, but those are like top priority, so hopefully that makes sense. So I created this TBR wheel off of wheelofnames.com. Super easy program to like input stuff and all that. So I just typed up a bunch of prompts, 22 to be exact, hopefully, I think. And we're gonna shuffle these, we're gonna spin, we're gonna see what we land on, and then I'm gonna find a book that's somewhere around me that goes with that prompt. So let's go ahead and shuffle once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, because it's my favorite number, and we are going to spin. And we got, oh, I'm so excited for this one. Okay, so the main character's name starts with A, B, or C. It's gonna take me a minute to look through some books to see what characters have a name that starts with A, B, or C. And then I'm gonna remove this prompt. So, give me a second. Alright, so it took me a little bit to kind of look through the books that I have and like look at what their names are. Some of them, it's in first person, so I'm like, what is your name? And like trying to flip through. It's kind of crazy. So we have 3 options, but I think I have the option that I want. Like, I'll just show you the options we have. Okay, the first one I saw right away was Everlost by Neil Shusterman. The main characters are Nick and Allie. Allie starts with an A. We have The Simple Wild. We have Kala. She is the main character. But then I think this is the one I'm gonna choose because both characters start with A, B, or C. Both main characters. Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And we have Callista and Baron, I believe. And this has been on my TBR maybe like 2 years ago. So I think it's time for me to read this because I heard it's pretty good. I did get this at the bargain section at Books A Million, but I think it's time for me to read this. So I'm gonna choose Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. All right, time for spin number 2. Okay, for spin number 2, we got fantasy, which is super exciting because I was gonna say that for September, we're slowly getting into fall, and fall means fantasy cozy reads. So definitely have a few fantasy that I could read. So it might be hard to choose just one. Alright, so for my fantasy pick, I was thinking, should I pick a book that has kind of been very popular, like this one, but I don't know. This is pretty big. Unless I get the pick for over 400 pages, then I'll pick this. But right now it's going back right there. I also thought of like Fourth Wing, because I do have Fourth Wing, and a couple other newer books that I have, but I was like, let me give it to something that's been on my shelf for a while. And we're gonna go with The Gilded Crown by Marianne Gordon. It says it's like a mixture of The Witch's Heart meets The Foxglove King. In this debut novel about a woman who can bring back people from the dead, and the princess and only heir to the throne whom she must protect no matter the cost. I don't know, it seemed very interesting. It kind of gives me fall vibes. I like the cover, and it seems pretty short for like a fantasy book, so maybe not. It is over 300 pages, but it looks good. So I'm gonna choose this for my fantasy pick. Alright, so we're gonna choose our third prompt for the video, and we have a lot of fantasy, so let's see what we get next. Friend recommended. Now this is really funny because I said if it lands on the 400 page or more or whatever, I'm gonna choose that, but that's the book my friend recommends, so it is going on my TBR. We have a lot of fantasy this month. I have had this book since January of this year. This is actually my best friend's copy. She's like, you need to read it. Like, you need to. So, here we are. I have her book. I'm finally putting it on the TBR. Doesn't mean I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna say this is a pretty thick book. And it's been a while since I read ACOTAR, so I might have to do like some spark notes real quick before I pick this bad boy up. But yeah, here we go. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas is going for a friend recommendation because I know she's been waiting for me to read this book. So going on with number 4. Let's just see if this month is a fantasy month, to be honest, which might be a lot. I would love just some romance, or maybe just some fiction or a mystery book would be fun. Let's see. We got a pretty cover, which could work for a romance book. So let's definitely maybe look in romance. Maybe even general fiction too. So let me take a look. Of course, I always pick a couple to choose from because I can't make up my mind right away. But for a pretty cover, I chose 3 books. The first book is True Colors by Kristen Hanna. I found this at a thrift store, and I have not read a Kristen Hanna book yet. And I just really think this is really pretty with the sunset and the horse. So this is really pretty. This book I also thrifted. This is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I have no idea what this is about. It says, Lily Hugh can't remember exactly when the question took root, but the answer was clear the moment she and Kath Miller walked under the neon sign of a lesbian bar called the Telegraph Club. America in 1954 is not a safe place for 2 girls to fall in love. Red Scare paranoia threatens everyone, including Chinese Americans like Lily, with deportation looming over her father, and Lily and Kath risk everything for love. I like the cover. It has a lot of awards. Yeah, it looks pretty. And the last one is Catherine Center's Hello Stranger. I thought the flowers was really pretty. I like the design. So I gotta pick out of these 3. Okay, I think I'm gonna choose Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I want just like a nice fluffy type romance. I know like the main character of this suffers from face blindness, which is interesting, so I'd love to read that? I don't know. It seems interesting. And like, I want to know, why is she wearing roller skates? Who is this dog? Who is this man? You know, all that. But I like the art. The flowers are really pretty, especially like when I see the spine sticking out. I'm like, oh, this looks so pretty. So we're gonna choose Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. We are down to the last two prompts. We're gonna spin and see. I have a lot of fantasy, like I said, so maybe switch it up these last two. And ooh, okay, so this one you get to do another wheel. So it says mostly blank on the cover. So I'm going to find a color wheel and spin it on Google. So give me a second to find that, and we're gonna spin it, see what color it lands on, and then find a book that has mostly that color on the cover. All right, perfectly. All I had to do was find color wheel. Someone made a wheel of colors wheel, which thank you whoever made this. We're going to go ahead and make it big, and we're going to spin and see what we land on. What did we land on? Cyan. Interesting color, which is like a blue-greenish color. Okay. Let me take a look. All right, I actually, as I was gonna say, I have two. I have three, because I looked over at some of my newer books, and this one kind of matches as well. So the two that I saw right away, they might be more green than like cyan, but we have Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, which has been on my TBR, but I have not yet read. This I might save until like October, but I mean, I guess it is fall, it might work. This is What the Hex by Jessica Clare. Again, very like spooky fall vibes, so I want to kind of save this for October. And then the one I saw off to the side that I just got at Goodwill maybe like a month or two ago is The Tenant by Frida McFadden. And considering I have some romantasy and fantasy and romance, I think a good little thriller might be a good choice. And I think this color matches a lot better than the other two for cyan. Cyan's kind of a hard color, but I think this is a good match. And I like Frida McFadden books. They tend to read pretty fast and quick, so I think a mystery thriller type book on the TBR might be good. All right, we are down to our last pick for today. We're gonna go ahead and spin this wheel and see what is going to be our last prompt for September. Oh, we do another little wheel thing I love. We're doing a random letter generator for the title. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. We have this random letter generator. We're gonna generate one letter and see if I can find a title that starts with that letter. This might be a bad idea, but let's do it. Generate. L. L. Okay, we have some options already, I see, so hold on one second. So we have a couple options. Again, I threw in Last Night at the Telegraph Club because obviously last L, and it has a lot of awards, so that's why I really would love to read this. I mean, I haven't heard much about this book, but it has a ton of awards, which means it's gotta be good, right? Another kind of well-known book is Lessons in Chemistry. I found this at a thrift store, and it's a pretty nice copy, to be honest, of it. So, I don't know. I just know this is a very, like, it was like book of the year or whatever when it came out or something. And I also have Local Woman Missing, but we did just put a mystery thriller on the TBR, so I might put this off to the side and not choose this. So I think I'm gonna choose Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie, I can't see her name, Garmus? I think this is like a general fiction book. I think I'm gonna go with Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I'm pretty sure this is like in the 1960s, a woman, STEM, all that jazz. I think it'd be fun, especially with what we have on our TBR now. It might be a good change of pace if I get sick and tired of romantasy and fantasy. So we're gonna go ahead and add this book as the last book on my September TBR. My camera battery died replaced it. Here we are. We have this ginormous stack of books, which I'm very, very happy with the range of genres we have for this month. Kind of fantasy heavy, but that's okay, because if I get tired of fantasy, I have some romance and mystery and some fiction to maybe cleanse our palettes this month. But this is really, really heavy because of so many hardcovers. But look at that stack. What a nice stack of books for this month, and big books for sure. Who knows if I'm actually going to read any of these, but hopefully the goal is to read at least 3, hopefully 3 off this TBR. I mean, it'd be amazing if I could read all of them. Okay, that was my September TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's book videos like this one or lifestyle or blogs, kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. So if you enjoy seeing this video, you should go ahead and subscribe. That is about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!